guys, welcome to SheKnowsArsenal. My name is Jessica and I'm your host, and you can follow me on Twitter at It's Justino. So on today's Just Reacts, we're going to be reacting to the fact that our star boy, our little chili, Bukayo SAKA, has made the Euro squad for England. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. My raw reaction is shock. Not because I don't think he's good enough. I just didn't think he was gonna make the cut. I didn't think Southgate would do it. I just didn't think so. So my initial reaction is just like literal shock. Let me know in the chat box what your initial reaction was, because I just genuinely didn't think that he was going to make it. I didn't. So there were reports coming out yesterday that he didn't get chosen, or he was going to be one of the people that got cut. So I kind of already rationalized that in my head. I was like, okay, well, from an Arsenal perspective, this could be good. He's young, it's fine, And then today, boom, he's in the squad. So amazing. And before we get really started, I just want to let you guys know that for the Euros, I'll be covering the Euros with We Show Football. So they have their own YouTube channel. I was about to say they have their own YouTube channel here on YouTube, obviously on YouTube, you guys, but they have their own YouTube channel, and they do a lot of behind the scenes of coaches and teams and stuff like that. And now they're doing presenter-led content, and they asked me to be a part of it. And I said yes. Our first episode came out just a couple of minutes ago, where we talked about the 26-man squad for Gareth Southgate for the Euros. So make sure that you give them a subscribe and follow them as well, because I'll be covering the Euros all the way from the beginning all the way to the end with them, and I'm super excited for it. So yeah. Now, our star boy, our little chili, he made it. That's really my reaction. It's just absolute joy for him. I know he wanted it. Any player wants to play in the Euros for their country. They do. So I'm happy for him. I really am. I think he deserves it. He's played so hard, and I just feel like this is good for him to feel validated for the hard work that he's done, for essentially carrying us the entire season, and he feels seen. Hopefully he feels seen and appreciated. If he didn't feel it from an Arsenal perspective, he'll feel it from a national team perspective. And I just love it for him. I love it for him. Let's see what you guys are saying. Jubrod said, glad and worried at the same time, to be honest. We'll talk a little bit more about that, about the worried part. I'm sure we all have a little bit of that. AK Gunner says, so proud of our star boy, little chili is the future of Arsenal and England. Yes. Usopp says, hi, Jess. Hey, how are you? AK says, well done, Jess. Proud of you. Thank you so much. And Bowie the Cat says, delighted for SAKA. I, for one, didn't expect it. I definitely didn't expect this at all. So he'll be wearing the number 25. So now I'm thinking okay, I need to go get a jersey with SAKA on it, a 25 jersey. I mean, I'm so freaking happy for him. I really am. So let's read the quote from Gareth Southgate on Bukayo SAKA. He said, firstly, he has performed exceptionally well for us and well in a team that has had a difficult season. Went into a team that had a tough season and played with real character and skill. Can play 4 or 5 positions, and that is a plus. So let's talk about that for a second. Just a couple of days ago, people were, insinuating that because Arteta had not nailed down a position for Bukayo SAKA, that he hurt his chances of making the Euro squad. I would say that now we can probably say that's probably not true. For somebody that's going to be on the fringes of the team and probably won't have a lot of opportunities, I think it's better for you to be more flexible and be able to play in different positions. Further along in his career, he'll obviously have to nail something down. You don't want to be a jack of all trades, master of none. But as a 19-year-old, that's just, I think it's beneficial to him to be almost like a Swiss Army knife for them, just in case something were to happen. And because Gareth Southgate plays with a 3-4-3 most of the time, he may get an opportunity to play left wing back in maybe the group stages. You never really know. The group for England is Croatia, Scotland, and Czech Republic, which isn't necessarily very strong. But depending on what happens, there's a lot of moving parts. Things can happen out of nowhere. So for me, I think he has an opportunity to play in multiple positions, but left wing back doesn't really seem like so out of the realm of possibility if Chilwell or Luke Shaw is unable to play. Now, He's been listed as a forward, which the last time that he got called up, I was like, wow, they listed him as a forward, but that's what he played mostly for Arsenal in the second part of the season. But I think mostly he'll be used as like a Swiss Army knife, a utility player that can play multiple positions. So I think this is such a good opportunity for him. I really, really do. And I think it's a testament to his hard work and, his faith and, doing all the right things. It's worked out for him. And I'm wondering if Mason Greenwood's injury has something to do with it. Yesterday they were saying that Mason was going to make it and Bukayo Saka was not. So maybe because Mason Greenwood has become injured and had to pull out, maybe that's the reason why Bukayo Saka made it. But regardless, you still have to work hard to be considered to be the person that steps in when somebody else becomes injured. So I just still think that he did everything necessary and in the right ways to be considered for the squad. And I think it's really, really good for him and his confidence. Yo-Yo says the FA have sense, protect, and nurture the prospects. Ren BHLLRD says many of us were concerned about Saka's burnout during the regular season. Do you think his versatility is also a liability? I think his versatility is a positive right now because he's on the fringes and it makes you a better option when you're on the fringes to be able to do more than one thing. If you can only do one thing and you're on the fringes, you're less attractive for that position. They want to get the most out of those fringe positions, those last 1 to 2 spots. So you look at somebody like a Jesse Lingard, who's kind of similar to Willock, similar to Dele Alli, where they're kind of like that extra midfielder and they score goals. But if you were to take away Jesse Lingard's goals, would you actually want him in your team? Whereas Bukayo Saka, even without goals, can be beneficial to you on the fringes of your team. He can play left back. He can play right wing back if you wanted him to play. He wasn't great there, but he can do a job there. He can play left wing, right wing. He can play left midfield. So I think right now in his career, it's a positive. Next season, I would want him to have a solid spot. Bowie the Cat said his versatility probably convinced Southgate. I mean, exactly. If you look at the difference between him and Jesse Lingard, I think you're thinking in the worst possible scenario, who would you get the most out of? And it's probably Bukayo Saka. AK says, only worried about potential burnout for Saka. We have to be careful. We do not want a Wilshere situation. He will learn a lot from going to the Euros. It would increase his development. I think so for sure. Yo-Yo says Saka will likely not kick a ball, but the experience is still proved beneficial. Exactly. Eddie, hey, Eddie. Stuart says, we'll be praying he doesn't get an injury playing for England now. I do agree with most of what people are saying, that I don't think he's going to get like a ton of playing time, but we do want to pray that he doesn't get injured for sure. Nikki says, hopefully it won't be another Walcott experience. I think it will help him grow and become more hungry and focused. We are traumatized by injuries and players in the past that have been overused and maybe not taken care of in the best ways. So I understand the anxiety. I really, really do. So I think from a Bukayo Saka standpoint, this is such a good thing. You guys have already kind of said the experience will be beneficial to him. I think it'll give him confidence, make him feel seen, and make his hard work seem worth it. From an Arsenal perspective, he worked so hard and then nothing really came about, but he was seen, he's being counted. And I think for Bukayo Saka, this is really good. From an Arsenal perspective, it's probably not what we'd really want if we're just being selfish. If we're being selfish, we'd probably want him sitting at home with his feet up, relaxing, So I think we're all just going to be kind of praying that he doesn't get an injury and he comes back fine. But, I think we'll be fine. For me, you guys, to be honest, I know we're worried about him burning out, but I would hope that we bring in somebody over the summer that could help us take away some of that burden from Emile Smith-Rowe and Bukayo Saka. I just think the two of them are playing too many minutes, and I'd rather them play less now and play more in the future. If Saka didn't start as much, I mean, he has more outfield minutes than Xhaka this season. That's insane. So for me, I'm just hoping that we can supplement his minutes with somebody else that's good enough where it's not like he's just filling in for SAKA, but he can almost like take over. And then SAKA and Emil Smith-Rowe, Martinelli can all kind of rotate, and it could just even things out a little bit. So for me, it's okay for him to go to the Euros and get that experience and stuff, because I would expect him not to be needed to start next season for us to be successful. Pepe has been amazing, in the end of the season. So maybe it would help for Pepe to start next season and SAKA to get some rest, before he comes back in after being at the Euros. I'm so excited for him. I'm so excited. Is anybody else going to get a jersey now? I mean, am I the only one? I just feel so excited for him. I really do. Bowie the Cat said another positive is he will be training with different players. I mean, yeah. And that link up between him and Jack Grealish, I think, is so important, like not important, but I like that they have some sort of rapport. And I think SAKA could learn a lot from somebody like him. I really, really do. So hopefully that will rub off on him too. At Arsenal, he's one of the best players. He's not learning from anybody. He's learning from himself. But in the England squad, he'll be able to play with Sancho and Rashford, and even though I know people don't rate him right now, Sterling and these guys, so that's going to be really good for him. That's a really good point, Bowie. Nikki says only hope for me is he avoids injury. Exactly. Kayville says this kind of tournament experience is invaluable. I wish more of our players were at the Euros. They need it. Yeah, it's weird because we usually have. As of late, not really, but like back in the day, we had players going into the England national team, and it's just been a while since we've had a real presence as like Arsenal Football Club in that team. So I hope that this is the first of many players that get recognized and are able to be a part of this team. I don't really see it for some of the other players like Nketiah and maybe Willock. I'm not sure if they'll make it. But people maybe like Aziz and Emil Smith-Rowe, so hopefully this is the first of many, because I like to see our presence in that team. I know I'm American, so it's like, why do you care? But I do care because I watch the English Premier League. So I feel like I have some sort of interest in the England team, and to not see any Arsenal players is kind of like, let's see. Eddie says, this is great. SAKA can now get proper time to chat to Grealish about joining Arsenal. Yeah, yeah. Stuart says, will he bring Jack to Arsenal? I don't know about that. I would hope that he would at least get the experience of playing with him. They seem to have a really good relationship or something, so, and just being around those level of players would be really beneficial to him. Johnson Moses says, yo, Jess, speaking of coming in, what do you think of Cacaret? I guess he's from Lyon. I haven't seen much of him. To be honest, his name continuously comes up, Cacaret and Shirky. Very young players, I think. Good players, but I haven't seen enough of him to really make a definitive, like he would be great for us or anything like that. Yes, hopefully Emil Smith-Rowe will be next. We know that Southgate has seen him, has watched him, and maybe is looking to have somebody like that in the team in the future. So that is my reaction. That is my reaction to Bukayo Saka. These are a little bit shorter than my normal shows, but tonight for some of you, it'll be 10 p.m. UK time. Me and Gunnar Souls will be back doing the headline show. So we have 3 headlines that we're going to be talking about. Ancelotti. We'll talk a little bit more about Bukayo Saka, and we're also going to talk about Onana. Imagine if we get Onana and everybody's just like singing the Onana. What's the name? Oh, no. Okay, let me stop. But yeah. So we'll talk about those 3 headlines. And then the same as yesterday, I'll have some fun question at the end for you guys to get involved with. Yesterday, we asked about the injury-free player. If you could give somebody an injury-free career, who would you pick? And some of the names that you guys came up with were so good and took me down memory lane. I was like, wow, yeah, if he had been there, we probably would have won the league, So we'll be doing that again tonight at 10 p.m. UK time. So make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and go congratulate Bukayo Saka, because I am so, so proud of him. And I hope you guys are too. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. Bye, guys.